Riverdale is my guilty pleasure, and I am ashamed to admit that, but season 1 was really good. It was everything the CW had ever wanted from a TV show. Murder mystery with a bit of cringy high school drama. What more could you want? But ever since the boring reveal of who killed Jason Blossom, the show has just gone downhill. There's only so many serial killers Betty can have in her family until the show starts to feel stale. Riverdale's big problem has always been that these characters are meant to be 16, 17-year-old in high school, but instead of being at school, they're off solving murder mysteries and conspiracy theories, and not to mention running underground nightclubs and gangs. So when Riverdale decided to jump over the college drama and go 7 years in the future, I was intrigued. This could have been the fresh break the show needed. It no longer had the school holding the characters back and creating useless plot holes. Instead, all of the characters were adults and they were free to do what they wanted. 7 years in TV time is a hell of a long time. You have the potential to basically reinvent these characters. And did they do that? Well, no, not exactly. So allow me to reintroduce you to the 4 main characters of Riverdale. You've got Archie, who went to war. What war? Your guess is as good as mine. You've got Betty, who joined the FBI and was kidnapped by a serial killer. There's a lot to unpack there, but the show ignores it, so will we. Then you have Jughead, who is a somewhat failed writer and now is an alcoholic who needs a shower for dear life. And you have Veronica, who is so tragically married to a white man.
It's 2021, Chad. Haven't you heard? Women can have it all now.
And I kid you not, that is exactly how the show frames those things, like getting married is on par with going to war. So now we're up to date with the main 4. Let's look into the story of this new season. How has the show reinvented itself to be fresh and new? They've got new villains and new material, right? Wrong. After 7 years, we're still fighting Hiram Lodge, who's still mayor and is on a mission to destroy Riverdale for his own financial gain. Essentially, the A-plot of the season is saving Riverdale again, ignoring the fact that not a single one of them noticed Hiram ruining the town for 7 years. Does this mean that none of the characters just went home to visit family at all in the 7 years? And how did Veronica not notice her dad doing this? Especially now, because she's on this mission to take revenge against her dad. Did she just forget he existed for 7 years? But fine. We'll ignore it. It's Riverdale. There's worse plot holes that have happened. Then we have the B plot of missing women in Riverdale. We're following Betty, who is trying to discover where Polly and a bunch of other missing women who are presumably drug addicts and sex workers, basically the undead of Riverdale, who can be taken and not be missed, especially since there's no law enforcement in Riverdale anymore. Pretty typical Riverdale stuff. A good mystery, bit of murder, maybe links back to her FBI roots. And then we have the C plot, which gets about 5 minutes per episode, so it's gonna be pretty boring, pretty mundane, probably a love interest story. No, actually, it's Mothman aliens. And not just like hypothetical aliens or a serial killer alien. No, it's real aliens who were preserved in a barrel of maple syrup, because of course it was. And not to mention the fact that Jughead was abducted by aliens last episode, and we're just going to push that to the back burner for a swingers party. I am just literally gobsmacked. I didn't think Riverdale had the ability to shock me this much, but the fact that they have an alien story that is literally just being pushed aside for more like petty love triangle drama, I'm just like, why? This is the thing we should focus on. There is literal aliens that have been invading Riverdale for decades. No one has noticed. But, you know, apparently that's less interesting than Hiram Lodge being an evil mayor. So you have Veronica, Archie and Betty trying so hard to save the high school and save the town from the evil mayor and find these missing girls. And then you have Jughead, who is literally an alien hunter now. Like, I'm going to assume that it's just like a misunderstanding and it links back to some sort of serial killer who's killing these girls, or it's a metaphor for Jughead's trauma. But I really think that it's just going to be aliens and it's not going to be explained well. It's going to be really weird. And it's the show writers trying to be clever, but they're gonna not have an interesting way out of it. And it's just gonna be this weird, unexplained thing that hangs over the rest of the season and isn't really touched upon again after this first half of the season. I mean, season 5 of Riverdale was a big gamble and a big leap for the writers. but they've completely ruined their chance at refreshing this show and doing a soft reboot in any way. Nothing has changed, and all the season has shown is that the writers of Riverdale are truly on jingle jangle, because what on earth is happening in the show? Nothing makes sense. All the plot lines are just not on par with the alien one, and I don't understand how this all is just going to be normal, petty Riverdale stuff. So join me on your weekly hate watch of Riverdale, and we can unpack this stuff week by week, because I am confused and I need to understand. Please, how is the show still going on TV? Like, I know it gets good views still, but how does CW see these plot lines and think, yeah, that's what's going to keep the audience on board? That's what's going to be interesting. This is our game plan here, guys. I'm amazed. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you still watch Riverdale, if you are as confused as I am by this, and leave a like, subscribe if you want. Thank you, and goodbye.